It is time. Welcome to the big house. The pregame keys for the game are right here for you right now as kickoff approaches for Ohio State and Michigan. The biggest game in the country, the biggest game of the year, the biggest game of all time. That's Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward. Ohio State's availability report, first and foremost. It's about as clean as can be. Lathan Ransom still not playing, but out of the starting lineup, that's pretty much it, Bill.
Yeah, Mayan Williams will be the other one. Also out for the year. Tommy Eichenberg expected back. Michael Hall expected back. Devin Brown apparently available. That's about it, right? The guys we were kind of curious about. So, yeah, Ryan Day said it was all hands on deck, and that seems to be the case.
Max capacity, Bert.
Yeah, this is about as healthy as you can ask for. End of November. I mean, you come into this game with one starter down, essentially. So that is a big step in the right direction for Ohio State, which has obviously gone through the ringer in the last 6 weeks, just having to rotate guys in and out of the lineup. And you wish you had Lathan Ransom for this one, knowing the type of game this is going to be. But at this point, it's time to go. Time to go.
Yeah, Ohio State's had several weeks to prepare for this eventuality without Lathan Ransom. So, that we've seen, Sonny Styles out there and Josh Proctor back last week, working through things to get Jordan Hancock involved. And, Jihad Carter has played some, and Malik Hartford. So they've been able to work through this. I think if you're looking for a silver lining for Ohio State, that would be it at safety. Yes, you want Lathan Ransom out there, but they knew that wasn't likely to be the case coming into today. So they've had a chance to work through it, find out how they want to defend the run. And, it's going to be a big day for Sonny Styles and Josh Proctor.
Yeah, they've handled it well without Lathan. I'm curious about Jihad Carter if he does get put into some big spots in this game. He just hasn't been in a lot of them this year, unfortunately for him, because of injury, and obviously doesn't get any bigger than this. And, the balance between when do you put him out there and when do you pull Jordan Hancock off the field, I don't think that's an easy choice, but they're going to have to pick their spots to do that. And we'll see. But I feel confident in that safety group, right? They've kind of backed it up all year, so I think they'll be okay.
All right, key number one, Bert.
Beat Michigan. Don't beat yourself. And Ohio State has.
I thought he was just going to leave it there.
At times,
short show.
At times, stumbled on their own. They've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds this year. Last year in the game against Michigan, the G. Scott penalty, dumb stuff like that. You just can't have that today. You cannot give away extra possessions, and you cannot give away extra series when you're getting off the field on third down. Or you just got to make sure Ohio State plays a clean game. That's something they've struggled with. Michigan, as I said on bold predictions, is the least penalized team in the country. They're well disciplined. You're going to have to come out here and make sure that you don't make dumb mistakes.
They're going to have to do whatever they can to ensure that they don't have a high degree of difficulty on every third down, right? You don't want to be in 3rd and 7 plus a lot in this game, which I think speaks to running the ball well on first, second down. I do think this is a huge Travion Henderson day, right? Or at least it needs to be, I think, for Ohio State to win. They need to run the ball well and run it efficiently so that you're not putting your offensive line in a position where Michigan can really come after them on third down. You're not putting Kyle McCord in a position where he feels like he has to go out there and win the game for you. So I thought that's been a struggle at times for them is making sure that they're on schedule on early downs. It's been much better of late, but it needs to continue today.
Yeah, I'd like to see how Ohio State and Ryan Day manage are they going to huddle? How are they going to signal in plays? I hate to make the game itself, now that we're finally here, all about the outside stuff and Connor Stallions and Jim Harbaugh, but they do have a huge dossier and manifesto built up of the signals. Like, it still exists, and even within the bounds of legality, you can steal signs. So, how's Ohio State going to manage that? You know that Michigan is aware of what they do, how they're going to do it. Do you do this, treat it like it's Brent Venables in 2020 in the Sugar Bowl, and go tempo, catch them off guard, not let them adjust? I think Ohio State has to be considering that. Ryan Day, I've asked him about it a couple times over the last couple of weeks, and he just doesn't want to get into it. I certainly understand that approach, and you don't want to give away, here's exactly how we're going to do it. I certainly understand that, but it has to be in the back of their minds what happened in the last 2 years and how to counteract that.
Yeah, it's impossible not to think about it. That is now, whether it's fair or unfair to Michigan, or it's unfair to Ohio State, that has tainted the game the last 2 years. So it's about coming out here and putting that out of your head. I think that's to me the second key. You can't think about that stuff. You have to think about the guy right in front of you and mano-a-mano and line him up against, Blake Corum versus Tommy Eichenberg. That has to be the matchup. It's not about anything else that's happened. Ohio State's done a really good job of avoiding all the distractions, I think, to this point. Michigan, I don't think, did a good job last week against Maryland. Ohio State will hope that Michigan struggles with that again today. They're going to be trying to host 75 recruits. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. Ohio State just has to play football, and Michigan has all the other stuff to deal with. Now, that doesn't mean there's not a ton of pressure on Ohio State, but it's a different type of pressure. This is just line up and play your game type of pressure. You don't have to deal with all of the outside noise. So to me, the guy that is most responsible for handling that on the field is Kyle McCord. So however Kyle McCord goes, so goes the Buckeyes today. And I think, to your point, Bill, you want to get into those third and short situations because Kyle McCord needs to manage this game and let his playmakers win. The Buckeyes have the 3 best skill players in this game. Spread the ball around, get those guys involved early. Don't put too much on Kyle McCord until he's got a little confidence going, because this place in 2 hours is going to be absolutely crazy loud. An hour before the game, it's going to be nuts. At kickoff, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy through the entire game. Let Kyle McCord get a chance to catch his breath before you start really putting pedal to the metal.
Okay. I want to see them get after J.J. McCarthy a little bit. Look, I want to see Ohio State test J.J.'s mobility, right? We think he's got a knee injury, and I think it's been evident the last 2 weeks that he's not quite himself with his ability to move around the pocket and extend plays. And these tackles from Michigan, man, I just don't think are very good. So, it has to be the whole defensive line, and Jim Dole's probably blitzing a little bit too to truly get after JJ. But this feels like an opportunity for JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer to really take over a game on the defensive side of the ball for Ohio State. It would be kind of bummer, I think, if they end up not doing that, just because of the matchup advantage that I perceive them to have in this game against Carson Barnhart, the right tackle, Darius Henderson, or left tackle, wherever else ends up playing there for Michigan. I just don't think they're very good. Certainly not as good as Michigan's been the last few years at that position. And I think Ohio State is much better at defensive end. And it's been a while, I think, since we felt that way about Ohio State's defensive line having the advantage on Michigan's offensive line. So I want to see them take advantage of that today.
I said throughout the week that Ohio State could win without Marvin Harrison Jr. scoring a touchdown, and I'll stand by that. But the closer it gets to the game, the more I think he's still got to touch it 10 times. It doesn't have to end in the end zone, whether that's the running stuff, whether that's getting screens involved. If Michigan wants to play 2 high safeties and take away deep shots, we'll see how they elect to play it. If you get one-on-one matchups with Marv, there's just going to have to be times where you tell Kyle McCord, the ball must go to 18. He's got to touch it a lot. And certainly Emeka Egbuka needs to be involved in the offense. You know that Travion, as Bill said, probably needs 20-plus carries. Cade Stover's going to be involved in the middle of the field. I know all that, and there's only one football, but there's also only one Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate and potential finalist for a reason. This is the most important matchup of the season. You got to design ways to do it. And if it's games like Rutgers and they just want to sit back and you're content to win the game that way, fine. This is not Rutgers.
No, it's not Rutgers, but you also have Emeka Egbuka back, and you also have Cade Stover back. You cannot force the ball into double coverage, triple coverage against Michigan's defense. This is an extremely opportunistic defense. You get single coverage out there, take your shot. But if it's not that, don't be afraid to give the ball to Cade Stover or Emeka Egbuka or Travion Henderson. Like that to me is the difference.
Okay. Final keeper?
That's it. I mean, get ready to rumble. That's it.
How's the vibe?
Ready to go. Let's do it.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right. I'm ready to head up to the press box as well. We hope you have a fantastic Saturday and enjoy the game. It's finally here. This is what everybody waits all year for. We're pumped to have coverage afterwards as well. There will be a live post game with Doug and Bill from somewhere around here.
From somewhere.
As they try and take
might be right back out here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And then Berm and I will have some snap judgments and the notebook, no matter what happens, and we'll break it all down. But again, enjoy the game. If you're down here, thanks for watching it in the parking lot. Whatever. We'll see you all later. For Bill and Berm, I'm Austin. See ya.